Knight.
Here.
Alderman Coles.
Here.
Alderman Lewitton.
Here.
Alderman Police.
Here.
Alderman Shockey. Alderman Wesley.
Here.
Alderman Winger.
Here.
Mayor Johnson.
Here. Quorum being present, would you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes, February 5th, 2009?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
On the question? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Bills, Alderman Wesley?
I'll obtain a motion to pay the bills $829,347.97.
Is there a second?
Second.
On the question? Alderman, please.
The special events, the fee we're paying is what, 12,000? Isn't that like half the contract already?
The total contract is $22,000. And according to the contract, we make payments at certain times as the work progresses, and this is the $12,000 is the amount due at this particular point in time.
Okay. So basically, we're paying them more than half before we even get to summertime, before the project's coming up.
Most of the heavy lifting is done at this time. As a matter of fact, Jeff Mermans is going to have a status report for you in your packets that go out tomorrow.
Okay.
And he'll give it. We had a meeting with them today, and he'll have an update as of today.
And I got one more, Mayor.
Alderman, please.
Page 4, Christopher Burke Engineering, this lift station. Seems like we got a bill for these guys every time a bill's come up. How much more do we owe these guys?
Mr. Graff?
They're really down to the final minor punch list items on it. And I think the last few bills have been pretty small, reflecting that. It's really just a matter of wrapping up some minor details. All the major work has been done. I think at this point, they're reviewing a couple of project manuals and just doing final project closeout. So I would expect maybe one more bill to final everything out.
And we might be done then?
We'll be done that, yes.
Anything else? Roll call.
Alderman Coles.
Yes.
Alderman Police.
Yes.
Alderman Knight.
Yes.
Alderman Cadella.
Yes.
Alderman Winger.
Yes.
Alderman Lewitton.
Yes.
Alderman Wesley.
No.
That passes. Do any citizens wish to address the city council? If so, if you go to the podium and give us your name and address, not you as of yet, Mr. Butees. I do not have any written communiques. Under mayor's report, I'm going to go to item B. Unless there's an objection, there's a resolution closing Irving Park Road, Illinois Route 19 for the annual Memorial Day Parade. Is there a motion?
I make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Butees, would you like to tell us about the Memorial Day Parade?
As we said, we're back. This is our 13th year. We're coming before the council, looking again for the council's approval and also assistance in making the parade go as well as it has been so far for all these years. Monetary-wise, the city services so far have done very, very well, and I hope that we can continue it this year. And my assistant, Mr. Rich Parsley over here, is a good man, is doing a good job, and I hope we can have a good parade this year, even with the economy the way it is. But if we can get the same type of monetary assistance as we had last year, we might be able to do okay. We're working at the club to get everything going for this parade, so we just hope that the city and we can get together. I'm pretty sure we can because we've done it before. And if we have your permission to run the parade and your help, that's all we need right now.
You certainly will have our permission and our full support, and the budget hasn't been approved yet, but I think we will be there as we have been in years past, right, Alderman Wesley?
Yes, Mayor.
Does anybody have any
That's
comments or
okay.
questions regarding
I'll
the
say that.
parade? Also, there's another VFW event, which I placed at the council table today. I don't know if you want to comment on that
No,
on
you go
Thursday
ahead.
night?
I was going to, but go ahead.
You're more of an expert on this than I am.
No, except on the February
26?
the 26th, we will be honoring the fireman of the year and the policeman of the year at the VFW post, so everybody's welcome afterwards, and we'll be looking forward to seeing everybody over there, anybody who wants to come.
It'll be 7:30 at the VFW post next Thursday night.
That's correct. I have one more thing that we'd like to say. Rich is from our men's auxiliary, and our men's auxiliary last year did 5 mailings to people from Wooddale who are in service, and we'd like that anybody in the council or in the city over here that knows of anybody who is going overseas, is in overseas, has been overseas, we'd like to make a mailing out to them, because we gather a lot of knickknacks. We don't send them any food because they get the food over there, right? No, we don't send food.
We send the food that
We
they
just
can't
send
get
snacks, yeah. We send them food that they can't get over there, and other items that anybody wants to donate, that we package it and we mail it out to them. So this is one thing, if you hear of anybody, let us know. We'll get the donations from other people and the supplies that we have. We have a big mailing, we have a big party and have boxes, and we ship it out to our people. That's it. Anything else? You want to say something? That's it, young man. Thank you very much for your support. We'll hear from you after a while then, as long as you're okay.
Council, you have a motion on the floor. Any further comments or questions? If not, roll call.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman Felice?
Yes.
Alderman Knight?
Yes.
Alderman Candela?
Yes.
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman Lewitton?
Yes.
Alderman Wesley?
Yes.
That passes as Resolution R-09-02, and we have a signed copy for you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, council members. Appreciate everything you do for us, believe me.
Likewise.
And that brings us to item A under Mayor's Report, CTE Report. Matt, are you going to take the lead on this?
Hi, thanks for having us. We'll give you a briefing on what the status is of the Phase 1 study for Illinois 19 at Wooddale. Currently, we are going through the process of getting the intersection design studies for all 4 locations reviewed by IDOT. To that effect, I met with the geometrics unit and the Bureau of Traffic today, and we went through the intersection design study analysis. For the most part, it's in very good shape. There's a few fine refinements that need to be made. Once those refinements are made, we will send those intersection design studies to the Illinois Commerce Commission, the Metro Railroad, and DuPage County, and give them 2 to 3 weeks to review and set up a meeting between those entities and IDOT, and have a working meeting to make sure everyone's on board that has to have their hand in the approval. ICC has their hand in it because of the traffic signal railroad interconnection. DuPage because Wooddale's under DuPage's jurisdiction. 19 because of Illinois Department of Transportation with Illinois 19, and Metro because of the rail line. So with that moving forward, and once we get that approval, we could take that technical information and put that into the environmental assessment report. And with that environmental assessment report, we'll send that down to Springfield, and we need to get their blessing to go to public hearing. And that'll be about a month and a half process. So we're hoping for a public hearing in the time frame of May-ish, June-ish right now.
I think the only thing I want to add to that is Ron talked about just some of the technical issues. There are a few environmental issues that we've been dealing with. One is we're constructing this underpass in the Salt Creek floodplain. So we are we're impacting floodplain. We have to make up for it somewhere else. This has been an issue. We've dealt with the water park. One of the options was to kind of dig a detention basin in that open area behind the water park. That option's pretty much been tabled, and any sort of digging of a basin or compensatory storage is going to be within that area within the new bypass roadway. And this has been the option that we've been talking about all along through the study. It's just we didn't know if that was going to be viable or not. And what that means, this was that area we were talking about kind of doing, like a recreational area when it's dry, but when there's a flood event, it'll fill up with water. The other environmental issue is we are impacting the Wooddale Water Park. We're impacting their parking lots, and there is some coordination we have to go through with them. We're taking some parking spaces with the new alignment, and we're going to have to mitigate that by building parking spaces for them. Assistant Manager Jeff Murmis and I met with the Park District in November, presented 4 options, and they've chosen the alternate they like. There appears to be no problem with that. So we're just going through some formalities. They have to write a letter and concur with it, but otherwise that issue's taken care of.
Alderman Wesley?
When you met with the Park District, which alternate do they choose now?
We presented 4 options. Basically what we're doing is we're eliminating a section of Commercial Street where you enter their parking lot now. So we had to create a new entrance to their parking lot. And the option that they like is a connection directly off of Wooddale Road, basically where the driveway for the Suburban Bank and Trust, where their current driveway exists today. It's going to be a shared driveway for the bank and the Wooddale Water Park.
May I do one follow-up question with that, Mayor?
Alderman Wesley?
Because when are we looking, after all this, when are we looking to actually put a shovel in the ground for this project? I mean, let me just brush this back up. What's the status of the money that's funded already for this? Okay, and are we got a chance of losing this money down the line here because we don't have a final plan in board to turn a shovel? And continue with that question is, the Roskin's office, is that money now secure from his office that she mentioned at our last meeting that she says, yeah, she's going to put in for this much money? Has that come back to us? Is that money secure for this project?
I can speak to that. Basically, the transportation bill that we're currently working under, Safety Lou, the transportation bill is it's a 6-year bill. So this bill should have been approved in October of 2003. Congress, Senate, the President couldn't get together on the amount of money that they wanted to appropriate for Safety Lou. So what they did was the previous bill, Safety, I think was what it was called, lingered. They kept approving like the spending amounts on a monthly basis or a 3-month basis, whatever, until October of 2005 when they finally agreed upon an amount of money. That money was when Wooddale got $14.3 million allocated to this project. That appropriation is going to continue until the end of September of 2009 when the next possibility for the next transportation bill comes up. I've been talking to Roskin's office. They said with the person that put this into the current bill, it has never, anyone that's ever done stuff like this, they've never reneged on that. So that money is as safe as it can possibly be. Now granted, we're going into economic times that I don't think any of us have seen. I guess anything is possible, but it is highly unlikely, especially with the progress moving forward. We're going to be at public hearing, and we'll be ready to transition from phase 1 into phase 2, which is turning the project report into a set of contract plans. With that said, on February 6th, there was an opportunity to seek out additional federal funding which was CMAQ funding, congestion management and air quality funding. And I filled out the paperwork for that, and the amount of money I requested was the shortfall that the $14.3 million wouldn't cover for this project, and I said that has been submitted. I'm also working with Roskin's office on that to see if we can help secure that shortfall there. Beyond that, Roscom's office sent of project flyer template, which was a 19 questionnaire form that they're prepping for what they're going to need to appropriate for the upcoming transportation bill when this one runs out. In that bill, or in that questionnaire, I requested the full funding amount for this project, which was in the neighborhood of $20 million. And I said at the very least, reappropriate the 14.3, which is currently there. So that's the status of that money.
Any other comments or questions? Alderman, please.
So basically, in 2 months, this public hearing, after the public hearing, say there's no problems, then what? You guys put those plans out to bid?
Well, now that's,
How's that?
what happens after the public hearing is there'll be a comment period. It's usually anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks where people can provide their comments. We need to address everyone's comments that come in. Either dispose of them or say, hey, you saw something that we didn't take care of, whatever that may be. But if everything's all said and done, we'll wrap it up. We'll write a final EA, or the final environmental assessment. That'll be submitted for review and signature by the Federal Highway Administration and Illinois Department of Transportation Central Office. And what we would be seeking is called a FONSI, which is a finding of no significant impact. And that would result in design approval. And that's the completion of phase 1 engineering. Now, it doesn't go from phase 1 engineering to phase 3. There's a phase 2. Phase 3 is construction. We'd have to go to phase 2 next, which is turning the project report and the plans into an actual set of full contract plans. And that's applying the quantities, the pay items, the specs and provisions. So there's another 12 to 18 month time frame in there for phase 2 engineering. 4 years.
And one question on that, you guys were talking about the compensatory storage. Is that going to be on the west side of that jug handle or on the east side?
It's going to be on the east side.
The inside of the jug handle. It'll be between Wooddale 19 and the new jug handle.
So basically, we're looking to make that little town center or something. Is that what you're telling me?
And
Right. Well, that area is going to be landlocked. There's not going to be any driveways or anything into there. So it's, and we're not talking a deep hole. This is maybe a 4 or 5 foot depressed area we're talking about. So you can still use it in the dry, when there's not a flood event out there, it can still be used. Just when the 100-year flood or whatever comes along, that'll fill up with water.
But the intent, so there's no misunderstanding, is that will still be used as a town center area for the community.
absolutely. It'll be 90% of the time, plus or minus, it'll be a green space for athletic events, picnics, whatever you choose to do with it.
Any other comments or questions? If not, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate the update.
Appreciate it.
One other item under Mayor's Report, we want to remind everybody of the Boy Scout Troop 65 Annual Pancake Breakfast, which is going to be March 1st at Holy Ghost Church from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, that's March 1st, the annual Boy Scout Troop 65 Pancake Breakfast. That concludes my report. Mr. Manager?
2 items tonight, Mr. Mayor, both informational. Just wanted to let the council know that I also had a meeting with Congressman Roscom's office yesterday. The purpose of that meeting was to present to his staff our capital projects that are programmed for fiscal year 2009-2010 in an attempt to get some of those onto the list for potential federal stimulus funding. We gave them the kitchen sink, if you will, all of the projects that are programmed. They'll get back to us on that. In the course of that discussion, I also brought up the issue of the funding for the underpass, and Ms. Weiner from Roscom's office assured me as well, as she has Mr. Kroll, that those dollars are pretty well safe and we shouldn't worry too much about the continued appropriation of those. Secondly, I was informed today by the Community Development Department that the Lakota Group is at a point in its study of the Thorndale Avenue corridor where it needs to come back to the Plan Commission and the City Council for a status report. Throughout the scope of their work, there are a number of different times when they come to the council and give them an update on what's going on. They're at that point at this stage of the game, and we're shooting for a joint Planning Commission council meeting on Thursday, the 12th of March, which would be the normal committee meeting. So we've got one other item tentatively on the agenda, and then we'd like to convene a special meeting of the Council and Plan Commission so Lakota can come in and give you all an update on where they are to date. And that concludes my report, Mayor.
One further item under the mayor's report, just a reminder that all city council committee meetings will be canceled for next Thursday, and hopefully everybody will be able to attend the VFW Police and Fire Awards dinner. That brings us to the consent agenda. Is there any objections to any items on the consent agenda? If not, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Now may I have a motion to approve the items on the agenda, being an ordinance amending the Wooddale Stormwater and Floodplain Management Ordinance, provide for best management practices. Approval of pay request number 6 for Special Service Area 14, approval of pay request number 5 for Special Service Area 13, and approval to name the annual summer event as Wooddale Prairie Fest. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Roll call.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman Police?
Yes.
Alderman Knight?
Yes.
Alderman Cadella?
Yes.
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman Lewitton?
Yes.
Alderman Wesley?
Yes.
Those items are approved. Item 1 is approved as ordinance O-09-05. That brings us to committee chairman reports, planning, zoning, and building. Alderman, who's vice chair? Cadella?
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Public health, safety, and judiciary. Alderman Coles.
No report.
Public works, Alderman Winger.
I make a motion to approve pay request number 4 for 2008 street improvements.
Is there a second?
Second.
On the question? Do we need a specific figure? Does anybody know the amount? Alderman Coles?
I don't know the amount, but what's, is this the balance of the Arrow? Is this the balance for Arrow Construction?
Mr. Graff?
It's a pay request to Arrow Road Construction. It's not the final payout. We still have a couple of items left to do. I do have the dollar amount in here if you'll bear with me for 1 minute. It's in the amount of $46,077.46.
Alderman Winger, is that your motion? Yes. Seconder agree?
Yes.
Alderman, please.
This was the one last week that they still had items to do, and this was, we were dropping the retainage, correct?
Correct. This is a request by them to reduce the retainage from 10% to 5%.
Anything further? Alderman Wesley?
I really don't think we should drop the retainer at all, because simple reason there's still stuff out there. I mean, we have done it in the past, drop the retainer, and then we find out something comes back more, and we ended up paying for it. I mean, we did this, we dropped the retainer on a Cedar sidewalk project, and we ended up paying for sewer or a line for the guys that got dug up, and we ended up paying for that. I don't believe in dropping the retainer that low, and that's what the reason why I'm voting no for this. I mean, we ended up paying for something last time we dropped the retainer so low, so I will not support this.
Anything further? Roll call.
Alderman Coles,
I'd say yes.
Alderman Police,
No.
Alderman Knight,
Yes.
Alderman Cadella,
Yes.
Alderman Winger,
Yes.
Alderman Lewitton,
No.
Alderman Wesley.
No.
That passes.
And that concludes my report.
Finance and Administration.
No
Alderman
report.
Wesley. There is no other business. We do need an executive session tonight. May I have a motion to adjourn the city council meeting into executive session for purposes of review of the official minutes and land acquisition only pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C21 and 2C5. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Alderman Coles,
Yes.
Alderman Police,
Yes.
Alderman Knight,
Yes.
Alderman Cadella,
Yes.
Alderman Winger,
Yes.
Alderman Lewitton,
Yes.
Alderman Wesley.
Yes.
That passes.
Yeah, you're all in cahoots, that's why I don't get in there. Yeah, baloney.
Get that in.
Shirley, what's this map?